Don't fall asleep at the wheel. I hope I didn't scare you there. This chapter was largely motivated by two experiments right at the beginning. In one, consultants were given a few different types of tasks for helping a shoe company. Some were more analytical tasks, some were persuasive, some were marketing oriented, and the consultants were organized into two groups. One group got AI, and one group did not. And as you can guess, the AI users did better on most tasks. Their analysis was faster, it was more creative, and it was better written. One of the tasks was a little bit trickier. It had some misleading data, and it turned out the AI users did worse on that task. Why? It turns out many of these consultants were blindly copy-pasting the questions into AI. Definitely not an ideal outcome. You don't want to be worse because you used AI. In the second study, recruiters were given 44 job applications and were asked to rate the applicants on mathematical ability. Some of the recruiters were given no AI, some had a low-quality AI, and some were given a high-quality AI. And again, those with the better tool were more likely to blindly trust the AI output. The runner of that second study called this phenomenon falling asleep at the wheel. So let's take a closer look at what's happening. Do you remember the jagged frontier? I made that really cool animation and it totally paid off, by the way. It turns out it's a really good way to understand this concept of falling asleep at the wheel. At the beginning, you might start inside the jagged frontier. Everything's going well, the AI understands what's happening, but you start to trust the AI too much, and slowly you start to give it tasks that are outside of the jagged frontier. And the AI doesn't tell you a darn thing, just keeps on going. The AI is suddenly doing tasks it's not good at, and you're not paying attention. So you end up getting these worse outcomes. So to tackle this problem of falling asleep at the wheel, Ethan Mollick suggests that we need to be very careful about how we categorize our tasks. The first category of tasks are just me tasks. These are tasks that are definitely outside the jagged frontier, and they might require a personal touch, or maybe you're concerned about copyright using this new AI technology. So those are tasks that you reserve exclusively for yourself. Congratulations. The second category of tasks are delegated tasks. These are tasks that you're constantly checking what the AI is doing, or maybe you're doing the tasks together. A good example of a delegated task might be collecting information from the web. The output is important, but you're always in the loop to make sure it goes well. And then the final category of tasks are automated tasks. So these are lower priority. We want this to be the biggest group, but Ethan Mollick says that right now, that's probably going to be the smallest group for most of us. You can only trust the AI with certain things, like maybe low importance emails. Good tasks for this automated category are tasks that are enforced by another system. So for example, coding tasks are perfect for this because if the AI makes a mistake, the code just won't run. Okay, so now that we have this categorization of just me, delegated, and automated, there's another categorization that we should talk about that Ethan Mollick proposes, and those are cyborg tasks and centaur tasks. Fortunately, these are tasks that are not as weird as they sound, and I really wouldn't think of these tasks as living as one or the other. It seems to really be a spectrum. And what determines where you are on the spectrum is how often you're crossing that jagged frontier. So a centaur task is where there's a clear defined line between the human part and the AI part. And I guess this is similar to that, to where the human and the horse meet or something. I don't know. I don't want to think about it too much. A good example of a centaur task that Ethan Mollick talks about that he uses is reading academic papers, because AI is so good at summarizing now, he can use it to make sure he has the same understanding that is intended by the authors of the paper. And a cyborg task is a task where you might be crossing the jagged frontier very frequently. And for a cyborg task, he talks about how he writes with AI agents. The AI agents are able to take on these very fanciful personalities, and they give him feedback to make sure that his text has the right level of depth, but is also still approachable for most readers. And writing as a cyborg task is actually the perfect segue for this last thing I wanted to talk about, and that's ChatGPT with Canvas. What is ChatGPT with Canvas? Well, it's a feature that came out, I think, yesterday or the day before, and what it is a more interactive UI for ChatGPT. and it's good for writing text and for writing code. Before, you might have to go back and forth with ChatGPT. That was definitely more of a Centaur experience where you're sending it something and it gives you output, and then you send it something and it gives you output. This new ChatGPT 4.0 with Canvas thing is really cool because it makes you feel like a cyborg. You're able to select certain parts of text and give the AI some prompting just for that piece. So ChatGPT 4.0 with Canvas is a very powerful tool, and you should definitely try it. If you want to learn more about this new ChatGPT 4.0 with Canvas and become a cyborg yourself, I'm going to link another video from a channel called AI Foundations that I found very helpful. So go check it out. All right, that is all I had for part 2, chapter 6, AI as a coworker. Tomorrow's chapter is called AI as a tutor, and hopefully we can learn something. I will see you tomorrow.